study of the 7 universal laws, and this law is the law of correspondence. Now, the law of correspondence is definitely a concept with much depth, many layers. It's the one where we get the famous axiom, as above, so below. It points to the harmony and agreement and correspondences between the several planes of manifestation, life and being. This truth is a truth because everything that's included in the universe emanates from the same source, and therefore the same laws, principles and characteristics apply to each of these units of force, matter and spirit. For the purpose of the reader and the correspondence, this universe is broken down into 3 great planes. So the first one, you have the physical plane. And then you have the mental plane. And then you have the spiritual plane. In reality, these divisions are but ascending degrees of the great seal of life. The lowest point is undifferentiated matter, and the highest point is that of spirit. The different planes merge into each other, so it's harder to identify the division of where one ends and the other begins. In short, the 3 great planes may be regarded the 3 great groups or degrees of life manifestation. In the law, it explains that a plane is not a complete dimension, but also more than a state of being. It explains that the different planes are measured and determined through the dimension of vibration, another universal law. Each plane is broken up into 7 subdivisions, and I'll just read a little bit from the Kybalion as it shows you here. The 7 minor physical planes are as follows: plane of matter A, plane of matter B, plane of matter C, the plane of ethereal substance, the plane of energy A, the plane of energy B, the plane of energy C. The plane of matter A comprises the forms of matter in its form of solids, liquids and gases as generally recognized by the textbooks on physics. The plane of matter B comprises certain higher and more subtle forms of matter, of the existence of which modern science is but now recognizing the phenomena of radiant matter in its phases of radium, etc., belonging to the lower subdivision of this minor plane. Now, like I said, very deep. It took me a few times reading to be able to let it sink in and to comprehend it, so I don't expect people to just grasp it just off the back. This is quite ancient and intense knowledge, but very close to absolute truth, and this is why I'm sharing it, because with all of the different doctrines, dogmas, religions, teachings around spirit that I've gone through and journeyed in my life, this hermetic science, it always comes down to this. And as I say, once you understand these laws, you will be able to understand how to work with the living light, which is the living light of consciousness and the living light of spirit. Okay. The 7 subplanes, through the measurement of vibration, categorize all the different energy sources like heat, like electricity. There is an ethereal energy subplane and one of nature's final forces. However, the purpose of this video is to just provide an overview and a snapshot of the laws. Further study from yourselves is required. This is a very detailed law, and it was here that after many years I learnt why crystals are so valuable and so important when it comes to our spiritual work. And I'm just going to share that page of what I read, and it really provided an epiphany. Right. So if we just go from here, we do not wish to go into this subject in detail in this work, for it does not belong to this part of the general philosophy and teachings. But we may say this much in order to give you a little clearer idea of the relations of these planes to the more familiar ones. The elementary planes bear the same relation to the planes of mineral, plant, animal, and human mentality and life that the black keys on the piano do to the white keys. So that was the point. It's very important. I'm going to read it again. The elementary planes bear the same relation to the planes of mineral, plant, animal, and human mentality and life that the black keys on the piano do to the white keys. The white keys are sufficient to produce music, but there are certain scales, melodies, and harmonies in which the black keys play their part, and in which their presence is necessary. They are also necessary as connecting links of soul condition entity states. So yeah, wow. Every time I read it, it blows my mind. Basically, what it's saying is talking about, ethereal, elemental kingdom, elementary planes. It's talking about things like crystals and the connection that crystals have to our consciousness. This is where basically what I discovered, where it gives you a great analogy of the white keys on the piano, and then the relationship that to get certain melodies and tones you need the black keys. Just see the crystals as, say, the black keys, and for you to be able to really have a true understanding of the relationship with spirit and earth, and being able to work with certain elemental energies and stuff like that. That's why crystals are here. They provide that extra layer, the extra tone, which is kind of like a key that will provide assistance for you to reach that next scale. So yeah, this law is not one of the easiest to understand, but I thought if I could show that example and that analogy, maybe it will put a switch on in people's heads, and they will understand that it's all just about the relationship between our current plane and then the next plane, or the plane higher and then the plane lower. So I'll leave it there, and hopefully you enjoyed